Welcome into this week's episode of Inside the Charge. I'm Maddy Glab, and in today's episode, we've got veteran linebacker Shaq Thompson joining us. It's fitting Shaq is on this week because the Bills are playing the Carolina Panthers in Week 8. Thompson spent his first 10 years in the NFL with the Carolina Panthers, now comes to Buffalo in year 11, reuniting with Sean McDermott. Yes, Coach McDermott was Thompson's defensive coordinator when Thompson played with Carolina. Now they reunite 10 years later. Shaq talks about how special it is to be back with Sean McDermott and how he always wanted to, before he retired, play for Sean McDermott as a head coach. It's easy to see that Thompson fits in Buffalo for multiple reasons. He's known as being a hard hitter on Buffalo's defense. Thompson details why he's known for doing that and the type of leadership he's brought to Buffalo's defense. We also dive into a lot more. You guys are going to like this episode. He is a great character and a great player so far for the Bills this season. Shaq, thanks for coming on and hanging out with us a little bit post-practice.
You're welcome.
Shaq, you're in your first season with the Bills, but you fit in so quickly. It feels like you belong to this team and you have belonged here for a while. Why is that?
I think it's just the person who I am. To me, I think I make friends easily. You know what I mean? I'm a good character type of person. I put ball first, and when you come to a culture and an organization that's all football first, and you bring in a guy who's also football first, I think the connection's always there, and I played against most of these guys in my 10 years in Carolina. So I got a feel for them, just like as a football player, but not really as a person, but just as a person, man. All these guys have been great. This is the type of organization, type of culture that you need in this type of sports. I'll probably say all sports. You need people who are free, funny, themselves, but just also love the game of football, and I think that's probably why I fit in here well. You could say I was raised when I got to the league in this culture. When I say culture, like McDermott's type of culture that he brought here, to where it's just a player-led team. And you let the players lead the team, because at the end of the day, it's the players that are in between those white lines. And that's probably why I think I fit here, and I just be myself. Like, when I first got here, I was a little quiet because I really know everybody. I was just talking to the linebackers because that was my group, right? Then as you get going, you start meeting new people, you start talking to people, and you start asking them what they like, what they watch, you know what I mean? Then you just start getting to know each other. Then you go through training camp, you go through battles, you go through all that, injuries and all that type stuff, and that's when you kind of just bring it together and get to know somebody.
You said you're yourself here. Bills Mafia doesn't know Shaq Thompson too well yet. Who is Shaq Thompson as a person?
I'm a very relaxed, homebody type of person.
Okay.
I come off, I might look like I'm rude, or you know what I mean, just because sometimes I look a certain way, like I don't want to be bothered, but just come up to me and say hi, I'll speak to you. I have a conversation with you, ask how you doing, ask your name and stuff like that. But you just got to come meet me, honestly. Then I'll let you be the judge of that, you know what I mean? I don't really like to talk a lot about myself, you know what I mean? I'm just me. At the end of the day, I'm just me.
Sean McDermott called you a winner today in his press conference. What's your reaction to that?
As you can see, there's no reaction, but in the inside, I'm happy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I need to ask him, what does he mean by that? But I think it's just a mentality type of thing, right? Playing through injuries, playing hurt, going out there, finding a way, you know what I mean? Like a hamstring, they ask me every day, I'm good. I'm good. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to fight it, I'm going to play through it, I'm going to do what I got to do. And just being honest with myself and being honest with him. If I can't do it, I'm going to let you know. You know what I mean? I think that's like a winner's mentality that he probably likes, and that's what I hate to keep bringing up back then, but that's kind of how it was back then, just seeing, when I was a rookie, just seeing all these vets fight through injuries, fight through this, you know what I mean? Sacrificing what could be a career-ending injury, you know what I mean, just to go out there to play one game, you know what I mean? So just having that mindset, that winner mindset, was like, man, nothing's gonna stop me from getting on that field. And I kind of got a motto, like, if I could walk, I could play. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's an ankle and I'm walking, you know what? I'm going to take what I got to take, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to give it my all, you know. And I think that's just the mindset that I have, and I think that's what he means by, like, that winner mindset, you know what I mean? Like, whatever it is, you just can't be stopped.
A winner's mindset. 11 years in the NFL. How have you lasted in the league this long?
I would say just doing all the little things right?
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing is, I think what people misconstrued is not being able to be coachable. Right? Like, you gotta be able to be coachable, right? If they tell you something one time, that you're gonna do it, right? And not gonna go off and do anything else, right? We used to call it a repeat offender. Somebody, you tell them to do it right the first time and they keep doing it wrong, you're a repeat offender, right? Those guys don't usually last long in the league, right? And being a good character type of guy, right? Like, you don't want no bad character type of guys, right? No donkeys on your team, you know, who's gonna bring the team down, bring the culture down, bring the vibes down in the locker room when you guys lose or you lose 2 in a row, right? I've been around a lot of those guys who were cancer-ish, right? And those are the type of guys that you just got to get out your locker room and get off your team, right? In order to bring that back up. So I think that's the biggest thing, is being able to be coachable, playing fast, making plays, and being a great guy.
Playing fast, smart, and physical is something Buffalo's defense is known for. Why do you fit in this defense so well?
Because I grew up in this defense. No, I'm just playing.
But does it feel good to go back to something you grew up in when you were young?
It definitely feels great, right? Like, I would never move back to my house that I grew up in back in Sacramento, because I'm over that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But here, I always told myself, and I know I said this in multiple interviews, like, before I retired, I definitely want to play for Coach McDermott. You know, and that was one thing that was on my list, and that was one thing I wanted to do before I retired, was play for Coach McDermott as a head coach, because I had him as a DC, and he was a great DC. He was phenomenal. He was the one with just a little bit of words that changed my career and how I started to become more of a professional as a rookie. You know what I mean? Just taking little tidbits, little nuggets from vets, how we run on the field, run off the field, you know what I mean? And stuff like that, just holding people accountable, you know. And I remember one time, I forgot who we were playing against, I think the Cardinals maybe, and Roman Harper, he was a safety, and I was a young buck out there, a rookie, and he goes, just play fast, I'll make you right. So basically it's just like, hey, whatever you're right or wrong, just go and I'll make you right. So, and that just put in my head, like, all right, I can trust him. You know what I mean? He could trust me to just go play fast and play free, you know? And that's what I try to tell some of these guys, like, you know, sometimes you may get reached. For me, if you get reached, just stay reached. I'll make you right. You know what I mean? That way we all play on the same string and play. Because the hardest part is, like, when you get reached, then I think you're going to stay reached, then you try to get in your gap, then we're both in the same gap and something gets creased, right? So I think that's my biggest thing is I just want to tell these guys, like, hey, I'm here to make you right. You know what I mean? Just play fast. I got you.
Sean McDermott and you overlapped in Carolina your rookie season, beginning of your career. You come back together 10 years later. How has Coach McDermott changed?
I get this question a lot. To me, I just think he calmed down from the yelling raw aspect, right? Like, he talks to us as men. Not like he didn't do in Carolina, he talked to us as men, but I think it's different when you're a DC trying to become a head coach, right? And I know I asked him this. I asked him, what made you, like, what changed? He was like, just evolving. He's evolving with the game and evolving with treating men as men. You know, and I respect that, because at the end of the day, we're all men, you know, whether you're coming in the league at 18, 19, you know what I mean, or 21, 25 or whatever, right? At the end of the day, he's all men, and he's going to treat us like men and professionals, and, you know, he's going to crack down when he needs to crack down, right? Like, if things ain't going as well, you know, he's going to come in there and he's going to make sure everybody understands why we're doing this a certain way. Why are we doing this? Because he wants to make sure we play smart, we play fast, we play physical, right? And the biggest thing is play smart. We got to be out there. We got to have smart players out there in order to play in this defense.
Many players say Coach McDermott over the years has relaxed too and has had more fun with his team and with his players. One of the things we learned about was the Dad Joke Fridays. Have you gotten introduced to those dad jokes?
Yeah, I got introduced. He has. I think his record, he's winning. He hasn't, right now, since I've been in there, he has a winning record. Like,
Okay.
he told some funny jokes. You know, don't ask me because I don't remember. But he told the team some funny jokes, and he has some that kind of went over people's head, and he has some that just didn't make it. You know what I mean? Like, but I think it's good, right? Just lets him know like he's more than just a coach. You know what I mean? He's also a father figure. He has kids. You know what I mean? And he also wants us, the guys who are potentially going to have kids or have kids, like, so be a dad still. You know what I mean? And he just wants to, give us some tidbits on his little dad jokes. I respect it. I respect it.
You're known for being a hard hitter. You have had some tackles this season where there's an audible gasp on the sideline because of how hard you've taken somebody down. What mindset do you have to do that?
You kind of got to have a screw loose, to be honest with you, type of mindset. But you definitely know about a player when it gets to that contact point, whether he speeds up or slow down. That's how you're going to know what type of player you have, whether you can rock with him or not rock with him. I'm that type of player who you can rock with. Like, I'm full on trying to take this dude head off. And that was just from learning from Thomas Davis, learning from all these older vets, really Thomas. I'm going to just put it out there. Thomas Davis is one of them dudes who come and just smoke you. You know what I mean? Just full on, whop, whop. You know what I mean? So, like, I kind of got that, too, from him. It was already in me, but he just brought it out of me. Like, he'll teach me some of those, like, hey, back in the day, like, you could literally lay somebody out when the ball is, like, on the other side. Right. You could really lay somebody out. And that's what he taught me. Now you can't really do that now, so the league kind of got a little soft. But he's the one who taught me how to just be more physical, bring the violence, bring the pain, because, you want to be the deliverer than the catcher. Like, I want to deliver the blow than catch the blow. It's always going to suck for the person who catches the blow, right? You're always going to be the one that, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to be the one who's trying to also hurt somebody.
You said you have to have a screw loose to do that.
Yeah.
What screw is loose for you?
You just kind of got to be crazy. You got to love the contact. You got to love the pain. You just got to love it. You know what I mean? Like, some of these guys, talk to some guys, they're like, man, I don't know how you still doing it. It's just, bro, I love it. Like, you know what I mean? I love it. Like, I go through pain. I'll fight through pain just to be on this football field. How
do you love it 11 years later? I mean, you take those blows, it starts to hurt a little bit more.
You just got to get up. Just know it's going to quit. It's going to wear off as soon as you get treatment. Take care of your body. Get some rest, If it's a rough game, what I kind of found out was if we got a 70-play game on Sunday, my body won't get back until, like, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe Friday. You know what I mean? Then I got to go do it again. So, like, I know my body. And I know when to turn it on and turn it off, you know what I mean? Sometimes I resist contact in practice, you know what I mean, just to get it ready for Sunday.
Learning about your body and learning what it takes to play in this league for 11 straight years, what is something that a younger Shaq Thompson would do that an older Shaq Thompson would not?
I would say I would probably take care of my body a lot more. Because back then I would just go to practice, not stretch, not do anything, not massage, no cold tub, nothing. I was young, so I'm like, man, my body's good, you know what I mean? Then once, like, I started playing, like, year 5, I was like, damn, I should have really took care of my body a lot more, But year 5, I started getting used to it, started doing more massages. I got me a massage therapist. Her name is Jennifer Jackson. Shout out Jennifer. She really knows, like, my body, takes care of my body. She watched film on me to let me know, like, how I'm running, where at in my hips and my feet that I need to get realigned and stuff like that. So I really got a good group of help outside of here to help me inside of here, if that makes sense.
What's the craziest thing you've learned from your massage therapist in terms of areas of your body that are impacted more because of the game that you never thought would be impacted?
It really just be like the hips.
Okay.
The hips get aligned a lot. That's probably mainly just from sleeping, just probably laying on one side a little bit. But it really just starts all from the foundation, which is your feet. Making sure your feet and all that stuff is aligned correctly, because if your feet are not aligned correctly, then everything's just going to trickle up to your hamstrings, to your hips, and all that type of stuff. So you got to make sure all that is aligned and correct and ready to go. So, yeah.
You spent 10 years with the Panthers, obviously playing against that team this weekend. What's special about going back to that place?
I think the special thing going back to that is going back to where it started for me, where I got drafted to. But I tell myself, it's just a regular game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're on our schedule. They're in our way for us to get back in that win column. It's probably not going to hit me until I walk into the stadium and going on the visitor side, just to be real and frank. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to be too high. I'm not going to be too low. I'm going to be right there in the middle. And it's just a game. I understand it's a business, They went a different way, and I came to an organization who wanted me, especially coming off a injury like I did last year. And, hopefully it's paying off for the organization that they made a great decision.
How cool is it, 10 years later, you're back with the assistant GM and Brandon Beane, who drafted you, that is now the general manager with the Bills. Your defensive coordinator then, Sean McDermott, is now the head coach, and you are a veteran who's played in
Don't forget
so
my
many
linebacker
games.
coach. Al's still my linebacker coach.
Coach Holcomb?
Yep.
That's pretty cool, too.
Yeah. It's been amazing. Like I told you and alluded before, like I wanted to play for Coach McDermott before I retired, right? And it happened, Fortunately, Al was over here and Bean was here, and I'm excited, and they know me, right? And they've been seeing my growth over the years and my play over the years, and I'm just happy to be here, man. I love this team. I love the city. I love the organization. When people talk about Buffalo, I tell them, you're dead ass wrong. Buffalo is one of those cities that you need to go to, and you need to be a part of the best football atmosphere that I've seen. And I love it. Fans travel well. You can't beat that.
They're going to be in Carolina.
You can't beat that. I can't wait to see them.
Well, Shaq, we're so happy we're here. Again, you fit in so well to this team. You're sitting here now, and I'm thinking, why hasn't he been here for 5 years already? Because
it feels
just
like I
makes
should have been
sense.
here. Yeah, for sure. We just got to keep going. Start off this week. Coming off a bye week.
Mm-hmm.
We got Carolina. And they're gonna come to play, right? They're undefeated at home. They're going to come to play, especially against the Bills.
Yeah. Appreciate it, Shaq.
I definitely want to hear, there's no place you'd rather be than right here, right now.
By
Bills
fans?
By Bills
in Carolina?
fans in Bank of America.
Oh, my gosh. Okay.
Let's
you
show them
heard
how
of
it's
Bills
done.
Mafia.
Bills Mafia. Let's show them how it's done. There's no place you'd rather be than right here, right now.
I love it. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap, guys. Cut.
Appreciate you tuning into this week's episode of Inside the Charge. If you haven't yet, make sure you like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more podcasts coming your way.